back in town. The Radicals back together at the expense of Triple H. Tag team action next up here on Metal.
Following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, team number one, accompanied by Terri, the World Wrestling Federation Light Heavyweight Champion, Malenko, and Terri. Their opponents, the team of Malenko and Bob Evans.
So Tom, it looks like the Radicals are back together again. Eddie Guerrero, Barry Saturn, Malenko, and Chris Benoit resealing their bond. And when they play their cards right, they can very quickly become a super strong group here in the World Wrestling Federation. And Kevin, it was indeed Eddie Guerrero who hit Triple H with the Intercontinental Championship, and then the Radicals were already in the ring. Eddie Guerrero was that missing link, came in, all four Radicals back together again in the World Wrestling Federation. It had been a good week so far for Triple H. He had begun to get revenge on those that caused him great consternation. After all, it was Monday on Raw, as both Triple H and Kurt Angle tended to the ill Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley, eventually sending her back to the hotel in a limousine. It was there that Triple H's demeanor changed, and Triple H went right to Commissioner Mick Foley, the game wanting a match with Angle, and it was a war. It wasn't about the championship that night for Triple H and Kurt Angle. It was all about pride, especially on the part of Triple H. After Triple H got himself disqualified, he wanted to make the punishment fit the crime, and went after Kurt Angle with a steel chair. Mike Hollow now in off the tag. He and Bob Evans moving rather effectively against Barry Saturn, and boy, nothing could derail a Radicals reunion faster than an upset loss, and nothing could derail and separate Mike Hollow's head from his neck. That tremendous kick. Yeah, Barry Saturn with the vicious streak on Metal this week. Malenko, as we know, one of the finest technicians ever to step foot in a squared circle. Runs Mike Hollow head first. Now opening up in the corner. Well, looks like Malenko's adopting some of that mean streak of Saturn. After all, you know, Tom, it was Commissioner Mick Foley. Look at this. It was Commissioner Mick Foley who brought the Radicals to the World Wrestling Federation in the first place back in February of this year. And it was only in a few months when actually all Radicals have tasted gold here in the World Wrestling Federation. Saturn with the European Championship. Malenko still holds the light heavyweight championship here in the World Wrestling Federation. The group has been adorned with gold, whether it was personality conflicts or business conflicts. The Radicals separated, but now they are apparently reunited. And you have to wonder who's going to be impacted. Mike Hollow, the sunset flip, but left himself open to an attack from behind from Dean Malenko. Boy, again, I think the rub with all four Radicals together one more time, as you said earlier, could be a strong force here in the World Wrestling Federation. Let's look at someone like Chris Benoit, who, look at that leg drop off the second rope. Chris Benoit, two different occasions, has had his hand raised and been proclaimed World Wrestling Federation champion, only to have it yanked away by a decision by either Commissioner Foley or a referee. Think about what Benoit will be able to do now that he's got some backup. No doubt about it. I couldn't think of any three greater athletes as a cohesive unit right now. When you put Malenko, Saturn, and Eddie Guerrero along with Chris Benoit, all on the same side. Mike Hollow needs to make a tag into Bob Evans. Of course, everybody's still talking about not just the Radical reunion, but that classic interview this past Monday on Raw between The Rock and Chris Jericho. Bob Evans is now in. Power slam, hook of the leg, 2 count only. And I know everybody's buzzing about Adam Sandler making an appearance on SmackDown here to see his favorites. But Tom, who was Sandler's favorite of all? Earl Hebner? Man, oh man, takes all kinds. What a knee drop off the top rope there. Bob Evans. Oh, check this out. What an application. Float over into the rings of Saturn. Bob Evans shaking his head, yes! Look at the pain etched on the face of Bob Evans.
Here are your winners, Terri, Saturn, and Dean Malenko.
Saturn and Malenko looking good on Metal. And Terry's got to feel good knowing